Hey, it's Jen, and for The Color Purple, I chose to analyze the feminist theory. Okay, so first question, how is the relationship between men and women portrayed? So for this one, it's definitely portrayed that men are supposed to be the more dominant sex and females are supposed to be the housewives who stay at home and cook and take care of all the chores and care for the children as well, when the males are supposed to do all the heavy work and maintain the farm and the animals and take care of all the business related tasks. This is seen in Celie and Albert's relationship because she never actually calls him by his name. She only calls him Mr. Almost as if he was her master, and he kind of treats her almost as if she was his own personal slave. She gets beaten when she tries to do her own thing or take a break or stand up for one of the children. He's like, no, you have to do what I say, and there's no talking back. There are some characters that definitely do defy these portrayals, like Sophia and Shug, because Sophia, in her and Harpo's relationship, she's definitely the more dominant and gets work done and almost bosses him around for once. She gets her own work done and she doesn't need a man to tell her when to do things. And then there's Shug, who had a very similar upbringing like Celie, and then she figured out her talent for singing and writing music and performing, and that helped her gain a lot of more confidence, and she branched out and made a life for herself. So when her and Celie became friends, that definitely helped Celie to break out of her shell and find out that she can make friends and she can be viewed as this beautiful person, because all her life she was told, oh, she's ugly, she's not worth anything, she's just gonna stay at home and work. I think overall this film reveals that for a long time women were definitely relied on for doing a lot of the housework, and they definitely still are. And this is very obvious at the end of the film when Celie leaves and follows her own path. And yeah, once she leaves her house with Albert, he has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't know how to cook. He doesn't know how to clean after his kids. He doesn't know how to support a family on his own because he only relied on Celie for doing everything. So it overall just shows that women were really underappreciated for doing all this work because of everything that happened at the end of the story. Like, his life was running very smoothly with Celie present. She always knew what he was missing, knew how to work the stove, work the kitchen, cook a meal properly, but then when he tried to do it on his own, he ended up just totally giving up on himself and getting drunk and letting his animals roam freely around the house. And yeah, he lost control of what was going on. And then there's sisterhood, which is a very big piece of this story. Celie and Nettie definitely had a really great relationship growing up, and then they got separated when Albert took Celie as his wife, and they were both really young, and they were left without each other. So throughout the story, apparently Nettie had been writing letters to Celie, but Albert concealed them and hid them and didn't want Celie to have any hope. So eventually she almost lost hope, but then discovered with the help of Shug that there were letters from Nettie, and these letters all had success stories and just life stories about Nettie and what she was doing with her with Celie's kids in Africa and how great her life was. So that really gave a light of positivity for Celie and really helped her gain her confidence. And eventually she did take a move and followed her own path. And when she did follow that path and follow her dreams and open her own shop and find her childhood home, they were reunited. And it was actually Albert that helped, because I think he felt really bad for what he had done with Celie for all these years. So overall, I think that this film definitely did fit the aesthetic of Southern Gothic because of the farm life and how men treated women and vice versa. So I did really like this film. It was really, it was long, but it was really good. And it definitely had those dynamic characters and portrayed those relationships really well.